In this podcast episode, Joe Rogan welcomes Wesley Huff, a scholar and researcher with a deep understanding of biblical texts and ancient history. Their conversation spans a wide array of topics, from the historical context of the Bible to the implications of modern scientific discoveries. Wesley Huff discusses his recent debate with Billy Carson, a figure known for his unconventional views on ancient history and spirituality. Huff reflects on how he was invited to participate in the debate with only 24 hours' notice, which left him with minimal preparation. Despite this, he felt confident in his knowledge of biblical texts and ancient history. He notes that while Carson is an engaging speaker, his arguments often lack depth and factual accuracy. The fallout from the debate was significant, as Carson attempted to prevent the release of the conversation and even issued cease and desist letters, which Huff found to be an overreaction. Huff emphasizes the importance of expertise in discussions about ancient texts and history. He believes that Carson's approach, while entertaining, does not hold up under scrutiny. The debate highlighted the difference between being a captivating speaker and being well-informed. Huff's expertise in biblical studies allowed him to challenge Carson's claims effectively, leading to a conversation that sparked interest and controversy in the online community. The conversation shifts to the nature of expertise and the challenges of being an expert in a specific field. Huff explains that true expertise requires years of dedicated study and research. He contrasts this with the superficial understanding that many people have of complex subjects, particularly in the realm of ancient history and biblical texts. He argues that while it is easy to engage with sensational claims, it is far more challenging to delve into the nuances of historical accuracy and textual criticism. Huff's background as a scholar allows him to navigate these complexities with ease. He discusses how many individuals, including comedians and entertainers, often engage with historical topics without a solid foundation of knowledge. This can lead to the spread of misinformation and a misunderstanding of the subjects at hand. Huff believes that fostering a deeper understanding of history and biblical texts is essential for meaningful discourse. One of the key topics of discussion is the significance of the Dead Sea Scrolls, which were discovered between 1946 and 1957. Huff explains that these ancient manuscripts, dating back to the 3rd century BC to the 1st century AD, have pushed back the timeline of biblical texts by over 1,000 years. The scrolls contain a wealth of information about the Jewish community during the Second Temple period and provide valuable insights into the historical context of the Bible. Huff highlights that the Great Isaiah Scroll, one of the most complete scrolls found, is nearly identical to the later Masoretic text, which dates to the Middle Ages. This remarkable preservation of the text raises questions about the transmission of biblical texts over centuries. The Dead Sea Scrolls serve as a testament to the care and dedication of ancient scribes who meticulously copied these texts, ensuring their survival for future generations. The conversation then turns to the historical figure of Jesus and the evidence surrounding his life and resurrection. Huff argues that Jesus was a real person who lived, died, and was crucified under Pontius Pilate. He emphasizes that the resurrection is a central claim of Christianity, and the accounts of Jesus appearing to his disciples after his death are crucial to understanding the faith's origins. Huff discusses the various sources that mention Jesus outside of the New Testament, including writings by Josephus and Tacitus. These historical references provide additional context for Jesus' life and the early Christian movement. Huff believes that the resurrection is a pivotal event that transformed the lives of Jesus' followers, leading them to spread his teachings despite facing persecution. Huff delves into the formation of the New Testament canon, explaining how early Christians determined which texts would be included. He notes that the 4 Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, were unanimously accepted by the early church due to their apostolic connections. The process of canonization involved careful consideration of the text's authenticity and their ties to the original disciples of Jesus. He also addresses the existence of other Gospels, such as the Gospel of Thomas and the Gospel of Judas, which were not included in the canon. These texts often reflect different theological perspectives, and were written much later than the canonical Gospels. Huff argues that the early church's criteria for inclusion were based on the text's historical reliability and their alignment with the core beliefs of Christianity. The discussion shifts to the portrayal of women in the Gospels, particularly in relation to the resurrection narrative. Huff points out that women were the first witnesses to the empty tomb, which was a significant detail in a patriarchal society. He explains that this inclusion adds credibility to the resurrection accounts, as it would have been counterproductive for the early church to fabricate such a story. Huff emphasizes that the presence of women in these narratives challenges the cultural norms of the time and highlights the radical nature of Jesus' teachings. By elevating the status of women and including them in key events, the Gospels present a more inclusive and transformative message that resonates with the core values of Christianity. Huff provides insights into the historical context of the Bible, explaining how understanding the cultural and social dynamics of the time can enhance our interpretation of the texts. He discusses the significance of the Jewish background of Jesus and the early Christians, as well as the influence of Greco-Roman culture on the development of Christian thought. By examining the historical context, Huff believes we can better appreciate the nuances of the biblical narrative and the challenges faced by early Christians. He argues that recognizing the complexities of the time allows for a more informed understanding of the texts and their relevance to contemporary issues. The conversation touches on the nature of miracles and their role in religious belief. Huff argues that the miraculous events described in the Bible, including the resurrection, are central to the Christian faith. He acknowledges that while some may view these events with skepticism, they are integral to understanding the significance of Jesus' life and teachings. Huff also discusses the philosophical implications of miracles, suggesting that they challenge our understanding of reality and the natural world. He believes that acknowledging the possibility of the miraculous opens up new avenues for exploring the relationship between faith and reason. Huff reflects on the profound impact of Christianity on Western civilization and its moral framework. He argues that the teachings of Jesus have shaped ethical standards and social norms throughout history. The emphasis on love, compassion, and forgiveness has influenced countless individuals and communities, fostering a sense of shared humanity. He also addresses the challenges faced by Christianity in the modern world, where secularism and skepticism are on the rise. Huff believes that engaging with these challenges requires a thoughtful and informed approach, one that emphasizes the relevance of Christian teachings in addressing contemporary issues. As the conversation draws to a close, Huff shares his thoughts on the future of biblical scholarship and the importance of continued research and dialogue. He emphasizes the need for scholars to engage with both historical and contemporary perspectives, fostering a deeper understanding of the texts and their implications for modern society. Huff believes that as new discoveries are made and methodologies evolve, our understanding of the Bible and its historical context will continue to grow. He encourages listeners to approach these topics with curiosity and an open mind, recognizing the richness and complexity of the biblical narrative.